What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So I literally just got back home and it looks like the hype is immediately fucking real. A sequel to Shadow of Mordor may actually finally happen, and not just that, it's most likely coming out this year. So the original game, Shadow of Mordor, of course, was my favorite game in 2014. Gave it my game of the year. I'm a massive fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise, the movies in particular, which are my favorite movies of all time, of course. And while the original game was a little disconnected from it, I still really enjoyed it for a lot of reasons, which I'll get to in a bit. But this leak actually comes from the website Target, of course, a massive retailer in America, who put up pretty much some pictures for the sequel already and put it up on their website, and it's apparently titled Shadow of War. So yeah, I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot with the title, because they called the original game Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, so the franchise name was simply going to be Middle-earth, but everybody referred to it as Shadow of Mordor, so they had to keep that title in there somehow, and I think that's why this sequel will be called Shadow of War. It's a little, it's a little generic in that way, but who cares really? It's about the game, right? So they put up a description already on their website, which I'll quickly read for you all. It says, go behind enemy lines to forge your army, conquer fortresses and dominate Mordor from within, experience how the award-winning Nemesis system creates unique stories with every enemy and followers, and confront the full power of the Dark Lord Sauron and his ring raids in this epic new story of Middle-earth. It doesn't say too much yet. It actually looks very similar as a description to the original game pretty much, except that it now mentions the ring raids, which I don't think were in the original game, so that would be a really cool thing, because yeah, I love the Black Riders in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, of course. Apparently Warner Brothers had already been kind of teasing that some kind of announcement would be happening on March 8th. It's looking very likely now that on that date we will pretty much be getting a final announcement trailer for the game. And not just that, Target already put up on their website that the game will be coming out on August 22nd, still this year. And if we look back at the original game Shadow of Mordor, that game I think came out in like the beginning of September. Was it September? Maybe it was even August, I don't know. No, I think it was September of 2014, so this is very comparable. I think it's a great date, like August, still in the summer holiday somewhere, just before the big games start coming out in October and November. So I really feel like everybody who loved the original game, which many people did, it was kind of like a sleeper hit, surprisingly, and that was awesome to see because it got great reviews, Yeah, I think it's going to be a great date to actually release this, and I feel like with the sequel, I already love the original game so much, but with the sequel they can just expand and improve on so many different aspects that I'm really confident this is once again going to be a game I will absolutely love. So what would I like to see from the sequel? First of all, I mean, the combat system was really why I love the original so much. It was the brutal execution moves, the satisfying combat, the RPG elements to it, and I feel like they're probably simply going to expand even more with Shadow of War now. People always talked about the Nemesis system, especially the reviews. I actually myself found the Nemesis system to be kind of, somewhat overrated. Like, it was a really cool system, don't get me wrong, and it was something that I had not seen in any other game yet, really. But at the same time, I felt like it could have been fleshed out so much more. And that's why I think, yeah, with Shadow of War now, they are really gonna do that, where you will have even more of a bond with you and your actual enemies, the Orc captains that you're trying to slaughter in the game. And it's nice how you build up that sort of, story if they manage to kill you and you really want to get your revenge in that way. So yeah, they mentioned the ring raids. I'm pretty sure they will kind of like serve maybe as some protectors of different areas, so you'll have your sort of like mini boss fights playing in the game, probably. That's what I assume they're gonna do there, but that will be absolutely awesome. What I would want from it is more environments. The original game had, what was it? Well, it was all in Mordor, right? So you had this dark area in Mordor, you had the more green and lush area, and with this sequel, I think, yeah, they could simply expand and maybe start introducing snow elements to it, or maybe go beyond Mordor. The description only mentions Mordor once again, but at the same time, like, Lord of the Rings is such a big universe with all these different areas. I would love for the game to expand and actually go to, areas like Moria. How awesome would that be? I would really like to see what the game would be like if they actually took it further than just Mordor. So we'll have to wait and see if that will be a thing. And last of all, simply the story, right? I mean, the story in Shadow of Mordor was cool, but at the same time, yeah, still could have been so much better. I really wanted it to be more connected to the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, or maybe The Hobbit or something. This took place in between, completely separate from those franchises, with a different character, and of course still the Lord of the Rings universe, but not in any way really feeling that similar to what the movies are like, my favorite movies out there, or yeah, like I said, simply the universe. It's also at the same time a reason why people who are not very familiar with Lord of the Rings could still really enjoy Shadow of Mordor. So in that way, maybe it's smart for them to simply keep it separate. But I don't know, I'm simply very much looking forward to Shadow of War. Once again, most likely coming out August 22nd, and expect a reveal trailer very soon now that this actually got leaked, maybe on March 8th, like I said. And then for now, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna start playing Horizon, of course, which now that I got back home, I can finally do that. Can't wait to do so. And I'm actually gonna experiment with doing a walkthrough starting tomorrow. So stay tuned for that if you want to see me play through Horizon. The first part will be coming up on YouTube tomorrow. And then with that being said, let me know your thoughts on Shadow of War Middle-earth, the new game in the series, coming out most likely in 2017. And then for now, thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.